Okay, so I'm just gonna do a quick demo of this level, but it's not actually done yet. I'm still gonna change a few things about it, but this is mostly what it's gonna be like. So yeah, I'll just play it for a little bit. But yeah, you can see like the old level 23, which I changed a little bit in the just to make the corners look better. The old level 23, it just does a full rotation, then turns around. In the new one, it's the same thing, does a full rotation and turns around, but this time it's got like a bent fan style. And this is the first time I've done a style of spinner like this. I really like this style. I was gonna do this actually here with the purple ones, but it wouldn't really fit the theme of this area as well. But yeah, here I think it's a good place to do it. It doesn't really change that much. It just makes it a little bit harder, a little bit more interesting. But yeah, I'll show you. This is where I change like how much it bends. So for example, if I crank this up a lot, like to 7, which is double, you'll see it's like bending a lot. I might even crank it up this high. I might leave it at like 7, or I could try even more. I could try like that. You see, as I do more, it starts to get pretty crazy. So this is obviously way too much. Although somewhere in the game, I might do something like this, but not here. But yeah, right now I have it at this. I could also put it lower. I could put it like here, and then it's just barely bent. But yeah, I think this is fine for now. Then what I want to do is have these things are moving in a spiral. Even though the coins are a series of circles, the enemies are moving. They're moving like it starts here and it goes in a spiral to like here, and then goes into a spiral to here. So each ring of coins kind of indicates like a ring of the spiral, but it's not really. It doesn't line up perfectly because otherwise it would just be going in a circle. But yeah, the thing about this spiral is my system doesn't actually support fixed speed spirals. So I can already do stuff like this, but you see how when it's in the middle, it's going slower, and when it's in the outside, it's going faster? That's because it's not a fixed speed spiral. Here, I want to have the green enemies should be moving the same speed on the outer rings as they do on the inner rings. But yeah, my animation system doesn't support that for a few reasons. But yeah, I'm trying to upgrade my animation system to get proper fixed speed enemies. That's one of the reasons why I have to fix that first before I can really get this working. Because yeah, I'm saying the enemies have a speed of 2, but right now it's actually moving closer to 3 on the outer ring and then more like 1.5 on the inner ring. So it's actually totally messed up right now. In fact, I was testing it. Maybe I could show you the test here. There's like some test code I wrote. This kind of shows the problem. Here, I'll just go like this. See, if I remove all the enemies except for one spinner enemy or one spiral enemy, then I log. I take the current and previous position and then calculate the distance. You could see the entire animation takes like almost a minute. It starts here and it ends up here. So this is the percent of the way through the animation it is. So it just finished one ring. That's only like 11%. But yeah, you could see the percent is going up at a fixed rate, but the speed, if I start it again, on the outer ring, it's going at about 3 speed. And as you get closer to the inner ring, the speed's going down. So yeah, I'm basically, I might actually be testing it wrong, but I'm pretty sure I could see the speed going down. But yeah, I might be calculating the speed wrong here, but even so, it's still wrong. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to fix right now is I want my animation system to support a fixed speed spiral movement without it actually slowing down like it's doing here. But yeah, it's actually really difficult to do. But anyway, let me just put it back the way it was. So yeah, right now it's like somewhat fixed speed. But yeah, it's good enough for now if you want to like play around with it a bit, but I'm only gonna like finish tweaking the level. Like I have to tweak the bend percent of the fan the spin speed of the fan, and then the speed of the spiral things. So yeah, once I fix my animation engine, I'm then gonna get the speed working here on the green things, and then I'm gonna finish this level. But right now, okay, there's all kinds of weird stuff happening too. That's kind of weird. But anyway, oh, I see what the problem is. But anyway, it's measuring the speed now of all kinds of stuff. But yeah, so in any case, let me just see if I wrote some down stuff. I wrote down some stuff. Oh yeah, the green end. See, the main spinner goes back and it goes clockwise, then counterclockwise. But the green enemies are always clockwise. So you get some cool interactions with the green ones, where like sometimes they're coming at you, and then sometimes you're coming at them. So it creates kind of a cool dynamic. I was considering maybe switching the direction of the green ones too, but it just kind of works better like this. But yeah, I think it's a really good use case for the spiral. I was thinking about doing the coins in a spiral and then it would follow the coin path. But the problem is when it gets to here, it has to start getting larger, and then there's actually two spirals, and the coins just look like a total, like a hurricane, so it doesn't really work. Yeah, also since the spirals, see this one, it starts at 0%, then one of them starts at, see, like when I define these spiral enemies, one of them starts a third of the way through the animation, and one of them starts 2/3 of the way through. So, see, this one's yeah, but anyway, the cool thing is even though it starts at 0%, 33%, and 66%, they kind of like, technically they're synchronized, but since the outer rings are longer than the inner rings, it's actually like pseudo desynchronized. So you get like a wide variety of stuff happening with the green things. So like right now, the green things are all pretty spread out. But if I were to keep playing this, sooner or later, the green things are going to start bunching up. So like they're still pretty spread out. It's kind of hard to talk and pay attention to all this stuff at once. But see, like the green things are still pretty spread out. But if I keep running it, sooner or later, they'll start clumping up. So you get like a variety of different cool stuff happening with the green things. You can't really see it right now, but you have to let it run for longer. But yeah, while you're playing, you have to count the amount of rotations it did. So I just saw it rotated. Okay, wait, let me try again. Okay, it's going to rotate here. So I have to count the amount of times it spins. So like, oh, whoops, I did it wrong there. First you have to count the amount of times it spins. Then you have to pay attention to the green things, and then you have to remember to turn around at the same time. So there's like green things counting how many times it's spun, and also like avoiding the actual spinner itself. So there's really like 3 things to keep track of. And yeah, I added a outer ring of coins to make it harder. The outer ring is by far the hardest part. And yeah, I put these like enemy walls to make it harder to get in and out. I also moved back the checkpoints also to make it harder to get in and out, like harder to save the coins. And then yeah, I designed the enemies so that if right at the start, if I'm like right here and I hold down and right, it'll make it through this path easily if you just hold down and right. So getting out is actually really easy. Or getting into the thing is really easy. So I can just hold down and right and I'll just get in. It's only getting out that's tricky. When you get out, you have to time it to get through this gap here. Yeah, but I like these stationary things and they look kind of nice. But yeah, that's pretty much everything here. So yeah, I just have to get my fixed speed spirals working, and then I'll finish this level. But yeah, overall, I'm actually really happy with this level. It's just annoying that I've actually been working quite hard on the fixed speed spirals, and it's like really hard to do. Even with AI, it's actually really hard. I got it working once a long time ago, like a month ago, and I was thinking I don't need fixed speed spirals, but now I'm realizing I do. But there's all kinds of reasons why it's hard. I don't want to get into it too much. But yeah. So anyway, I want to keep working on this, and I'm not in the mood to play any user levels today, but yeah, you can go ahead and test this one out. It's just that it's not done being tweaked yet. It's probably too easy right now. And I don't think it's really bending enough. I could probably bend it a bit more. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one overall. And this one is super intense, whereas this one is kind of like a little bit more chill. Although this one's still hard, but I kind of wanted this one to cool you off after this one. And the funny thing is, it kind of looks like a fan. It looks like it's like cooling you off with a fan, kind of. Because this one, it's like so intense. I kind of wanted something a little bit like simpler and not as intense. This one shouldn't be as hard as the last one. Even though this one's green and this one's red, I don't mind if this one's a little bit easier, because I don't want too much intense levels right in a row, kind of. But yeah, I'm just trying to fix these darn fixed speed spirals. It's like AI will always say, "Oh yeah, here's what you got to do," and then it'll work. It'll be wrong, and then I'll tell it again, and they'll be wrong and wrong and wrong. And I'll say like write tests to ensure that the function actually works, and then it'll write a test that does nothing, and this function still won't work. And then I'll give it my logs and I'll show it that it's not working, and I say make it work, and it just. But yeah, anyway, I'm probably just gonna try to figure it out without AI. I'm gonna do like some weird kind of hack solution that works. Probably isn't gonna perform very well, but like in this level, there's only 3 fixed speed enemies. So if the calculation to move it is inefficient, it won't matter because there's only 3. But anyway, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this area. See, these are both complicated. I like that I got a simple one in. And some of the simple ones like this one, I'm not really that happy with. But I like that I got a simple one in that I'm actually happy with. This one is like probably my favorite simple one. I just really like the way it looks. And I like this style of bent fan, which the bent fan isn't even that easy to do. It looks kind of like this. You want to see what the fan level design code looks like? For each, see, these are the vertical, these are the enemies on like the vertical, and then these are the horizontal in the fan. And then each one, I tell it, go 360 degrees clockwise, then 360 degrees counterclockwise, and then each one has a different pivot, which means like a different distance from the center. And then the starting percent is just a certain amount of increments of this percentage thing. So basically, they're just, each one's starting a little bit later. And then when it gets halfway through, I then flip it so that it starting sooner. Actually, it's sooner and then later, I think, or one of the, I'm getting confused now. But in any case, you have to flip it. It's kind of confusing. Like from here to here, it has to start getting later and later, and then when it gets to the middle, it has to then start getting sooner and sooner again. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this fan style. There's all other cool stuff you can do with fans. Like maybe I could try to show you real quick here. If I were to just copy and paste this, see how it goes from 9876 down to 0? Now it's going the opposite direction. Let's see what that does. Okay, now you see it looks pretty messed up. Yeah, that obviously changing the direction of the stuff, but yeah, anyway. There's all kinds of ways you can change the direction, that you could create like really cool fans. Like some fan might even have a wave that goes all the way through, because this fan, it waves from both sides into the center. But yeah, here, I'll play it a little bit more so you can see it a little bit more. This level is pretty hard. It's pretty fair though. You get a lot of time to get around the green things. It's probably gonna have to get harder, but yeah. Sometimes the green things do clump up due to their pseudo desync, because the inner rings are smaller than the outer rings, but it's at the start of the pattern, it takes them a while before they clump up. But yeah, anyway, there's not much else to say. I'm really happy with this one. I'm gonna tweak it more though. Yeah, I already have a plan for this one. This one should be pretty easy. I'm only going to do some small changes on this one. This one I'm going to do quite a lot of changes, but I already have a plan for this one. This one should be a good one. I have no idea about this one. This one, I have some plans. This one might be pretty small changes too. I have no idea about this one. This one's done, and I have no idea about this one. But yeah, I'm getting like decently close to finishing very hard mode, although I may take a break and do coding. I'm starting to like neglect the coding. But yeah, that's all for now. Yeah. Still going pretty well. Like these last three are solid. This one, and this one are all solid, and they're all in a row too. These are good designs. This is complicated, this one's complicated, and this one's simple. Arguably, this one's better than the other two actually, because you know the simple. Sometimes simple is better, but simple is kind of harder to like at a certain point you've done the simple stuff, and now it's easier to do complicated stuff. But anyway, you can expect in the future I'll do some other cool stuff with fans. But yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it for now. Anyway, I'm gonna keep on trucking. It's super hot in here, that's why I'm sweating. But anyway, hopefully I can fix the math stuff today. It's really difficult. All right, see you next time.